Well, anyway, we're done with the doctors for a while. And these are just appointments that I decided I wanted to make because of a few things. One was the clearing of the throat all the time. And what I usually call like I guess a post-nasal drip. Who knows? You know, you start saying things, sometimes you have no idea if you're actually describing what you have. And I found that out today. I went to a ears, nose, and throat specialist. Nice guy. When he asked me what the problem was, I told him, well, I think I have a post-nasal drip or nasal drip. I says, I really don't know. He goes, well, he says, by looking at you, I can tell it's not nasal drip. Nasal drip, post-nasal drip, it all comes from the front of your nose. It's like you're sick. Your nose is running all the time, and you're running around with a handkerchief, wiping your nose. He says, the clearing of the throat, because of something, you know, coming down from the back part of your nose, isn't what you would call nasal drip. So anyway, first we went through about 5 minutes of him explaining about nasal drip. And I'll tell you though, this is one of the nicest doctors I've seen yet. I've got a pretty good group of doctors when it comes to, you know, socializing. However, my general, even though I've been with him for a long time, I think he's a nice guy, but I think he's beginning to the point to where he thinks he knows me, you know, which he does, but you know, he's not looking, he's assuming everything now because of the past, you know, that type of thing. But this guy here, after the first 5 minutes of him explaining to me about, you know, the problem and things that I'm having, he sprayed some stuff up my nose to numb my throat and went up and down my throat and said there's nothing wrong. He says, however, it's actually, he diagnosed it as to what I had said earlier in a few videos back, to where I think it was acid reflux. And he kind of confirmed that. He says, it sounds like acid reflux. He says, take your medication faithfully every day. He says, and I'll see you in 6 weeks. Now, after about, between him talking to me about what nasal drip was and doing the actual test, we spent maybe 10 minutes. I was there for an hour. The rest of the time, the 50 minutes, we were talking about Obamacare. We were talking about Trump. We were talking about Obama. We were talking about all the bullshit that's going on. Started talking about guns. Yeah, I just went on and on and on. We sat there for a whole hour. I was there 50 minutes, and we were just bullshitting as if we were friends. So, and he just took his time, right? And that was the way it worked. I mean, you know, to have a doctor just sit there and bullshit with you, you know, after the exam and not try to rush you out, it's kind of an oddity, you know. But you know, like I said earlier, I was diagnosed years ago with not post-nasal drip, I'm sorry, with acid reflux. But I stopped taking the medication, you know, on and off, because I never feel it. You know, I never have, you know, the heartburn or the burning or the sore throats or the tightness. I never have all the symptoms of it, so I didn't take my medication, you know. And the medication, apparently I do have enough of it coming up to where it's irritating the back part of my nose, you know, where your nose meets your throat, to enough to where it's forming like a little mucus type thing. You know, because I had told them, you know, since I went back and I took 2 one night, you know, because I forgot one day, and I actually took one by mistake. But again, it's not a big deal when you take an antacid, I guess. if you take an extra one by mistake. It's not a big deal. But what had actually happened was I took one, but apparently I dropped one on the floor, and I wasn't aware of it. And then when we were having dinner, my wife had picked it up and put it in the kitchen, not knowing what bottle it came out of. So when we were having dinner, I noticed it sitting there, and I'm saying, Jesus, I thought I took it. Maybe when I came out to get water, I didn't take it. So I took it. So I ended up taking two. But I didn't have any of that back drippage. You know, so I said, you know what, I bet you it's an acid reflux problem. And it turned out to be. So he wants to see me in 6 weeks, and we'll take it from there. And he also, him and his secretary, want to take a class, a firearm class. So that worked out too. Now, let me talk about guns and doctors. A lot of you guys say, don't let your doctors know. Don't let anybody know. Don't let anybody know. Well, I'm going to tell you something. If you trust your doctors, which I do, you got to be honest with them. All right? They all know that I have guns. They all know that I train, I teach. They all know I carry guns in their office, except for if I go to like Yale Medical Facility, there's a sign out there, no guns. But one of my doctors, him and I talk most of the time when I go to see him, we talk about guns. I even bought a gun off him. All right? He sponsored me for his club. I mean, you know, this is the way it is. Because if they know that you have these things, these guns, they're going to think twice if they have to prescribe something to you that may harm you on keeping your guns. Or their report, if they put something in the report that they may normally put, they're going to be a little bit more aware on how they write the reports so that you don't lose your guns. You follow where I'm going here? Now, if you need a certain medication, you know, and they got to give it to you, well, they're going to have to give it to you. But what they put in their report will have a lot to do with why you have that medication. You know, so you're being in touch with your doctors, and, you know, I don't know how it is other places, but like I say, you know, my doctors are a nice group of people. They don't always make the right diagnosis, but they're a good group of people where, you know, we can sit there and talk and rap and bullshit for a few minutes, and they know. You know, and I say, Doc, is this going to affect anything? Like, you know, do I have to worry about this if they start talking about, you know, certain medications? You know, and they'll think about it. They'll say, no, you should be all right, but I'll make sure that the report reads right for you. You know, and if I ever had to take one of them to court as a witness, I know they'll go with me and they're on my side because I've been straight with them, you know, and everything. And that's just the kind of group that I hang with. So I feel it's a good idea to let them know, because they may diagnose or give you or prescribe something to you to try, and put something in the report that may hurt you, not realizing that it's going to hurt you. So everybody has their own way of doing things, but that's my way. So at that point, other than that, the light came in for the tractor. That's the one that broke off that time. It took a while for it to come in, but see what it does is it snaps back and forth. So this bolts into the roll bar, and when it gets hit, all right, but the thing is, I hit it so close to here that the branch actually got caught in between here and broke it right off. So, but anyway, I'm going to get this on today. I want to try to get this thing working. This is the, it's a delay timer actually, and I want to use it to work the camera on the alarm, because I'm going to need a short delay to make up for the beep beep when you have arm and disarm. Because if I hit the alarm to arm and disarm and it goes beep beep, it's going to turn the camera on. You follow me? I don't want the camera to turn on unless the alarm actually goes off. So I have to have a little bit of a delay in there. So this will give me that little bit of delay. So I'm going to read up on it. I don't think I'm going to have to make any changes to it. I think it's just a matter of doing a little bit of adjustment. I think this is going to be okay. Now it's a little bit more sophisticated than what I really need. You know, I really don't need all this. You know, I can get away with building one with a quarter of these parts, you know, on a board about that big, you know, 1 square inch. But I've had these around now for a couple of years and haven't really used them, so why not use it? You know, it's not like I'm using them every day and I'm going to waste it. So I'm going to read up on it, and I'm going to get that taken care of today too. So this is going to get installed, which shouldn't take more than 10 or 15 minutes. The wires are all there. This I got to read up on a little bit before I actually get that installed. That's the delay. And then I'm going to hook up this on the inside of the alarm, the inside of the van. So this will just add more confusion to whoever's trying to break in. And then we should be okay. Catch you later.